All right, people, we are ready. We are here with the finals of Lunchmeat 28.
That's right.
Awesome. Johnny Pastrami joins me tonight as we got Kurtis versus Nobility, a matchup we've seen before, but Nobility's on Suns tonight.
Yes, and Curtis is playing more fun Avengers stuff. What a delight. What a treat.
If you guys can hear us in the chat, let me know. Let me know that we're live and you can see us, you can hear us. And we've got a roll off.
They're rolling. It's going crazy.
Oh, chat is going
Uh,
off. All right, cool. We're ready.
Perfect.
Nasty's in the chat, Sweepy's in the chat. Good to see you guys.
Hi, guys.
Okay. And while we've got a second here, did you see who won? Who won? Nobility.
Curtis, or Nobility won, and then Jeremy as he prefers.
I find this matchup
Uh,
super interesting because these are two of the better teams in the game, and I've played both lists a little bit, and I'm not really sure who really has an advantage here. I lean Avengers, but what are your thoughts
yeah, it
there?
depends on. So it depends a lot on like team comps and everything. Like Curtis's list is very good at just like beating up and displacing like Hulks and big-bodied people, and can really like punish like an eye Hulk. But like on the flip side, like you have a lot of like good high quality attacks and like mystic attacks and stuff out of Suns that can just kind of like pierce through a lot of like the shield guard models and like disrupt them. You also have like a lot of like mobility too, so you can kind of like get around the map and do what you need scenario wise. So it's dynamic. It's an interesting matchup for sure. And I
It's a
don't think like any side is like really favored. Probably like I'd give it like slightly to Avengers, but
yeah, I think what are we tabbing here? We've got
they're doing
17 threat,
17.
alien ship, and Mayor Fisk.
Yep. God's MCP. Just punch each other in the wiener right in the center of the map. So,
Yeah,
yeah. So, like squad wise, I assume Kurtis is gonna play the cool, neat team of like Hulk, Steve, Shang, and
Gorgon.
Gorgon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Jeremy's probably expecting that and prepping for that. So
So
we'll see.
the standard 16 was the nobility. For nobility is usually the Immortal Hulk, Red Skull stuff, but at 17 we can't scale up Red Skull very easily. So
Nope. So
what's the Suns' game plan there typically?
I think you can. So you still do like Blade, Eye Hulk, and then I think double two is pretty okay. Like if you do like a Zemo and Mummy.
hmm
I missed what his other like threes were, so he might not
Uh,
have Zemo and might have something else.
I know
I
Schmid
guess I
was
could check,
on
couldn't I?
Iron. Yeah, that's true. It is.
They are list locked. They have lists.
Yeah.
They're set.
See, I don't usually have to deal with that because after we lose round one or two, I'm free to play whatever I want.
Sure, yeah. Become untethered and free. All right. Let me. Of course, it doesn't have it on there. Dang it. On Longshanks. Cooperate with me.
I'm sure he has a second affiliated three. Usually they run Iron Fist. Oh, Man Thing.
Yeah, he has Man Thing.
Yeah.
So we might do like Man Thing Mummy, which seems pretty solid, or like Man Thing becomes Zemo. Getting the Incinerates out feels pretty okay, and you have like it's a size 3 pull on
Yeah.
Man Thing's grabber, so
Yeah.
yeah, getting like Incinerate and like forcing that aura on like these like tight points might be pretty okay to like soften them up for like Eye Hulk and Blade.
This was a matchup I was concerned about when I picked up Avengers, but I quickly realized that since you never have to play it at 16, it becomes way less scary.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can like always like just choose threat and never have to like fight at that number.
I don't know if there's
So
really any advantage to be gained by the fact that Nobility knows what Curtis is likely to bring here. I don't know if that really gives him much advantage, whereas I guess Nobility is a little less predictable.
yeah, he can like definitely like do some stuff. He could also do like a pretty funny thing of like Ghost Rider, Red Skull, Blade someone else, like Blade and
Hmm.
affiliated three, which isn't hateful. And you can get like souls off of like the grunts too, which will probably die. They also like can go like contest the witnesses easily, which I don't hate. And Red Skull punches people pretty hard, so and
Yeah,
Ghost
that
Rider's also like cool too. So
Ghost Rider is an interesting one. I don't really see many Suns players play him, and I know Nobility's talked a little bit about why he put him in the list. I think is it a mirror? It was I think he said it was a mirror call, right?
It's like mirror attack, yeah, but like I don't know. It doesn't feel like the worst thing ever here. Like getting out like hexes on
Yeah.
a bunch of dorks is kind of good, and hitting Hulks with just like penance stairs and stuff, and just burning all of his power as well as like dealing him a bunch of damage is kind of cool.
I mean, deal with the devil is
It's
also
also
not irrelevant.
for sure, yeah. You can just like blow up one of your other guys for that. So
Oh, here we go. We've got the squads deploying. Is that not the crisis the team we expect from Kurtis? Thor, Hulk, Steve,
oh,
Okoye.
fun. Okay, he brought Thor instead.
That really
Nice.
surprises me because one of the things he told me at squad goals is that when you're four wide with Steve, you never bring Okoye. And
Yeah, maybe it's just because it's like tighter on this map, and this is like more of like because he has like the two important like stun immune models. So that makes sense on like the scenario set.
and Nobility's bringing. I think you called this list right. The double threes with Red Skull and a two threat.
No, I called the Ghost Rider instead of like the three and the Bob became Ghost Rider is what I
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
thought he would do. But I don't hate this honestly. Like Bob is like the bunker buster, and oh wow, how
yeah.
convenient that Kurtis has two shield guards that he wants to protect on like a tight scenario
Yeah, I mean,
that does auto damage.
I don't know if anyone watched the game that you two played earlier this week, but I could see how Kurtis would want two bodyguards to protect his Hulk after you nuked him off the board.
Yeah, look, sometimes you just got to punch that guy in the mouth, okay? And that's what that game devolved into. So
I'm really excited to see this play out because these are
yeah,
not
I
two
am too.
squads that people expect to see here, and
Yeah, I was
I
definitely
really like Red
expecting
Skull.
something a little different here. Yeah, I'm a fan of Red Skull here too. I think he's like great. He like gets enough mobility, like him having like the built-in mobility with his gauntlets and stuff, and like bumps too. He
Hmm.
like can always like fund it and like pop around. He's definitely not a fan of stun, so he's gonna have to kind of be careful to stay away from the witnesses running away because him cutting himself for one power is a lot less appealing than getting two, right?
Yeah, I think there's also a world too where Nobility going last regularly with Man Thing to move the models that Hulk and Thor have displaced back to points to score could be super relevant.
Yeah, absolutely. That's like a good shout out.
And
So
if you're Kurtis, if you're forced to waste any actions killing grunts to score points, that's a huge win for Nobility as well.
yeah, that too, and then he also gets souls from it as well too, which is just chef's kiss. Just use those for like fat mystic guns into like a Koye. And Steve, he doesn't like brain powers either, so yeah, it's funny that Kurtis has actually brought out Thor, but he's like kind of list locked in this list because after we played like a game where uh Psylocke and Thor had like this wet noodle fight where they literally did nothing to each other for the whole game, and he said he like completely sworn him off, but here he is, he's back. So
I mean, I think Thor has a
but
lot of
he's
games still.
oh yeah,
It's not.
absolutely. Like
I don't. There's not many superpowers, if any, that are better than a size 4 character plus terrain throw.
well, there's the better version of it that costs two instead of three, I guess.
That's true.
So, but you know, other than
Hulk has
that,
aged well.
yeah, what a guy. What a cool model Hulk is. Yeah, so. Yeah, I don't know. Like, he has, like, the funny AoE thing, too, and, like, shocks as well, which might possibly come out with, like, a tight map. And, like, how. It depends how the witnesses run away, too, and, like, what their kind of plans are for that. If they want to, like, just double stack them and play a truly brawl, or, like, play a true brawl game, or if they want to, like, kind of, like, spread them out and, like, play that, like, ticky tacky kind of, like, scenario game from there. So.
Do you see the
But
fifth
we won't know that
TTC for
until.
Kurtis, by the way?
Uh, yeah, it's reserve members on
Okay.
Okoye because
Oh, okay.
it turns out having four defense dice is very cool.
Yeah, I tried that a few games. It felt pretty good. Some people are really down on it, but the fact that I can get the extra die on offense as well so that I can generate power for bodyguards, I found that to be somewhat relevant.
Yeah, or even if you use it on her like spender too, just a six
Yeah.
die pierce flurry on a wild is that seems nice. Cool attack. So
Yeah, I'm not expecting the extracts to be too important in this game right here with just 3 on the board and the 2 points. This is definitely going to be a fight, but I think
Yeah, it's
Nobility has a
interesting.
stronger scenario presence here.
He does, yeah, and he has like Red Skull set up for the safe grab too, which is definitely a thing he might like try for.
I'm always torn and confused, and I think that's something that separates some of the stronger players is when I see something like intrusions, Fisk, midline secures, is how to handle the extracts. Do I safe grab them? Do I grab them and stand on the point? Obviously, you don't want to be standing on the midline round one with a Hulk or whatever across from you, but generally, I'm never sure when's the right time to commit to that midline.
Yeah, it's hard and like it's very context dependent. Like I've had games where like opponents like kind of like back off a little. Well, this is like with APOC and stuff, but like your opponent like is feels like kind of pressured out of the scenario a little by like what you could potentially do, and then like some people just like don't go for that, and they just kind of cede a lot of like the map.
Yeah.
So it feels important to like get something up there. It doesn't always have to be like your most important model or whatever, but just like putting some like token model up there to just kind of like pressure the scenario a little to like force engagement can be important.
Yeah, I guess we're going to see
I
that
think,
here because Red Skull is
yep,
cutting himself, bumping,
yeah,
and walking.
yep, and he does, and like the grunts too, like force that. Which I mean, they could just be a liability too, and just be like a free power battery for like Steve or Thor, which can be a little dangerous. But I guess we'll see what Kurtis decides to do.
Also notable here that both Blade and Mummy have the ability to remove conditions, so the stun won't be hugely impactful in either of them.
Yeah, absolutely, which is kind of cool. And then Man Thing's also immune to stun as well too, which is kind of great for him.
Man Thing is what?
Immune to stun as
I
well.
did not learn that. I did not know that.
Yeah, Hex and stun because why not? So
Okay, so that's going
yeah,
to be the
I'm.
nobility done. So we've got Red Skull sitting up top on the north side after safe grabbing. Let's see how Kurtis decides to proceed.
I suppose I should hop into the stream as well to synchronize our maps because I always seem to go whatever the direction is that's opposite of my co-commentator every time.
I'm trying to do the stealing from Ghost here and periodically call out where everybody is and who's holding extracts. Because I think half of us, if not more, paint or do something else while we watch these streams.
Yeah, that's totally fair. All right, you're faced this way.
Well, now you've got the stream up. I can show you the new tech, Johnny. We can do things like this and highlight grunts. Draw a little arrow and say grunt.
Ooh, that's
Right?
exciting. Telestrator.
Exactly. You'd have no idea how many times IntelliStrators I've gone through before I found this one that finally worked today.
That's beautiful. I love it.
Curtis doing a lot of thinking here. I don't know. What do you, if you were Curtis, are you trying to pick up an extract right now? I imagine you're. Oh, it looks like he's gonna potentially blow a round one assemble for a safe grab on Thor.
Yeah, I don't. It's interesting. Like even too, like if Thor goes up there, he's pretty tanky. Like you can probably just like double move to the witness. You could also just like walk charge and then
Hmm.
go slap the troopers, but then you're giving up like the core. I think he's pretty content just going to get like the unsafe grab.
Oh, I see. Assemble, grab, then walk, and then you move up Hulk and Steve for additional pressure.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. He's going for it. I like it.
What I really like about since I started streaming Curtis's Avengers games is that the doctrine, if you read, Discord or listen to the podcast, was that you never play Assemble round one, and Curtis almost exclusively plays it round one.
Yeah. It's really important. Like getting a free like turn essentially, like a free like half a turn is kind of a big deal, right? And like
Yeah.
lets you just like exude like so much like pressure and like confidence kind of like going into like the thing because like all right, well, I'm here, I have this powerful defensive team. Are you gonna like come at me, or are you gonna come stand next to me when I'm gonna probably have prio because I'm like narrower than you, and like I can just start like putting my will on you like immediately, right? And it like forces your opponent to like make these like choices that aren't always the best. And if your opponent's making like bad choices, they definitely have the potential to like mess up. and you can like punish from there.
So Thor is going to pick up the extract and then move towards the Fisk, or maybe not. Looks like he's going to retreat.
Yeah, just hiding in cover is not terrible, especially with like a blade and mummy who can like walk, bump, stab you if you're
Yeah.
on there.
So
Which,
post-assemble, we have Hulk and Steve who've moved straight up the board, and Thor was allowed a safe grab. Nobility now moving his Man-Thing up to grab the center
yep,
extract.
yeah, being in the center seems like pretty good. It like with that too, you have like your fart or whatever it's. I don't know what it's called. I
Yeah,
played against Man Thing once and he did nothing all game. He like made one attack.
yeah.
So he has like this
He stops
incinerate aura,
crits.
right?
Yeah, and this the incinerate. Yeah, if you're within two of him, which Hulk will be if he attacks, but Steve doesn't have to be.
Right. Yeah. I assume Steve is just gonna like bonk a shield into like troops something else and then just go stand on the witness and be pretty content up there. Hopefully within like two of like Thor as well
Yeah,
for extra bodyguard potential.
you don't want to hit Man Thing because you want to let Hulk throw that van and not have to worry about Brace being online.
You could just throw Man Thing. Just say screw it and get him out of there. He's kind of annoying, and he's like going to be power starved now for like next couple turns. And a throw on Man Thing is like a medium throw on Man Thing is like a double stagger, right? Because he's not going to have power to come back, and if he has to like walk, he has to like I guess walk bump. But
That's true. I've watched a bunch of Kurtis's games, and he likes the Hulk throw round one. But in this game, getting the extract lead isn't really as important because if you just clear off one Fisk, you're scoring twice as much as the single extract anyway.
exactly, yeah,
Kurtis looking to move his Okoye up into range two of Thor, provide some cover for him.
yep, seems nice. It'd been cooler if she got like even a little closer to be like in the car, like cover from the car too. But
Yeah.
oh well. Oh yeah,
All right, Okoye's throwing
she's
four
zapping.
dice with a reserve members into Man Thing.
Okay, what if she just
Oh, what if
casually
she
rolls a
just?
5 hits? All right, Man Thing. Does that feel good? You like that? All right, so Man Thing's got a real chance of just popping top of turn, which that's cool. Because
That
I don't
is
think Man Thing's going to have a way to spend power before that. So,
shades of old Okoye.
uh huh. It's sad that she doesn't even get a power from that attack. What a bunch of malarkey.
Well, she doesn't need it when you got Steve one.
That's right. He's got infinite money now. And it's nice too that like reserve members, the sum assembly required superpower happens after you do the shield or like after you do bodyguard. Because if you had to do some assembly first, you would actually have to pay 2 then for the bodyguard because it's the first superpower you use each turn.
So
So
what
that's
kind of
tough.
pressure can Nobility apply here? With Bump,
Um.
Blade, Man Thing. I'm sorry, Mummy. Does
So
he
Blade
have
can probably
options?
like. Yeah, he can like walk, bump, throw like glaives at somebody, I guess, and get like
Hmm.
some chip damage in maybe. I don't know. It's not looking ideal, but like I guess if like Hulk rotates kind of towards like a Koye, you could just have Bob like walk up bump and then just like fire a fat rocket into a Koye and hits all 4 of the models there for like a bunch of extra damage, which doesn't feel terrible.
All right, Nobility looking here to double move Mummy. He won't be within range two of Thor, but he does have the option to bump either this round or next round. I don't see a reason to bump this round.
Yeah, no, I think you just go on like the far side of the point, put pressure on there, make Kurtis clear it off if he wants it, and then be pretty content with that.
Given he only has Steve and Hulk left to activate, it's likely Nobility takes the South Fisk this round. Although I guess Kurtis could abandon the North Fisk, but I don't know if he'll do that.
Yeah, I don't think he does that. I think he just has like Hulk go and like guaranteed clear that off with whomever.
All right, we're
Yeah,
seeing
okay.
a
It looks like
shield
he's
come
just
in.
trying to pop him, yeah.
Cap attacking Man Thing.
All right. Well, the dice give and the dice taketh away, I guess. Well, he gets a power. That's what matters. All right,
We'll do it
going back
again.
to the money store. Yeah. Got the bing
You get the
bong.
wild, which is nice because maybe you pop the
Yep.
grunts,
Yeah, potentially.
and you do get Man Thing.
Yep. All right.
Uh,
It's looking like there might be a lot of mummy souls here.
I saw some power come off of Man-Thing. Is there a decision to be made here? I guess there's a potential bats, but I don't think that's gonna happen, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know. Wonder what that power was for. Bats actually keeps him alive because he only has the 2 successes, right?
Okay. He does choose to go down. I guess maybe he was thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, keeping him alive isn't terrible. But then, like, Hulk just immediately threatens, okay, well, Man Thing goes down unless you want to brace, and that feels stinky.
All right, so we're gonna bounce a shield now into the grunts.
Yeah, seems like the perfect target.
Single crit, no blocks coming in so far.
Yep.
So they're gonna live, taking just 1 damage.
Yeah, perfect.
I think you're pretty happy if you're Kurtis with that activation, though.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, you flipped over Man Thing, and now Hulk is there staring down the power core, which would be nice. You can also then like clear off the point 2 with his 2 power because of Steve coupon.
The
So
nice thing for Blade here is that already having 2 models on the Witness, I guess you feel a little less scenario pressure. So
mhm.
maybe you could throw a glaive and just see what happens. If I
Yeah,
guess if
exactly.
you can get into glaive range, which I assume you can. Maybe I'm wrong. Medium move, bump. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
he
sure he
figured it out.
does.
Yeah, Mummy was dazed there, and like
Mm.
Jeremy was confused why he wasn't showing up on the point, but they got there. They figured it out. Man Thing must just have a very wide card in the mod. Yeah, I don't. Does Blade make it across to the other witness? I guess. It's
He was looking
Bump
with.
messes. Yeah, Bump always messes with like my like internal like math and ranges, so it's hard sometimes.
Yeah, the challenge for Nobility is who do you want to threaten your models next round? Kurtis guaranteed having prio means someone's getting hit, and who do you want that to be? I don't think you mind Blade being punched by Thor. You're maybe
No, I
worried
think you're
about,
pretty okay with it. Yeah,
yeah. Especially, I mean, best case scenarios, he takes a few damage, and then you've got power to maybe attack Spender.
exactly. Yeah, and like Mummy doesn't care about getting like Blade thrown into him. Like, oh no, Mummy's gonna take a damage. Anything but that.
So Blade did double move and just decides to sit on the Witness
Yep,
on the
I think
south
that
side.
seems right. It makes it a lot harder for like Hulk to clear it off.
So we've still got Bob left Nobility, who is deployed centrally. Presumably he'll go to the top Witness, and then we've got Hulk still left to go for Kurtis, and he's got several good options here.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's man, it feels like so like it feels a little scary to have Hulk go and dive into those like 3 models, like that big pit of models, to like go contest the witness, especially because you're only going to be able to clear off one. You're not going to get like full control over it. So I think you probably just have to like seed that witness, like let Nobility have it, and probably take the top witness and just like force Bob to like come up to the center, get the point, and then just go down a little on scenario.
I mean, the fact that he's going to have 2 extracts this round means that the scenario lead for Nobility is minimal. But if he
Oh, sure,
does,
yeah,
but if
it's
he
going to be like
does,
3-2 then, right?
yeah, but if he
So
does
whatever.
decide to go south, then he'll be able to at least be in bodyguard range of Okoye. So he's paying 2 power to
That's true.
hop. So he's going to gamble a
Okay,
little bit here.
I like it. All right. I mean, the grunts aren't
You're likely
the,
to get the power, yeah. So Hulk going into
right.
the grunts.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
gonna
they might
pop
be
him.
dead. I'm not sure, but they might be dead.
So there is the power for the core.
Yep. So we get some more souls for Mummy 2, assuming he remembers. It's messed up. Those grunts are 3 guys, but when they die, they only give up 1 soul. What the heck?
Kurtis still with an action remaining. I don't think he has many options here. He can. Now he can't really throw because then he can't pick up.
Right. You could also just like walk and then throw like blade or
Yeah,
mummy or something
tie
too,
that
right?
point. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Especially the throw on Mummy is pretty sick. Well, he's got soul tokens now, so he'll still be able to snipe from range if he wants to. I don't. I kind of like the
Yeah,
idea of Hulk moving south, where he's really far from Red Skull, who's the most damaging model on ability side, and then
for sure.
using Thor or Hulk to just deal damage to Blade and throw him away, so he's wasting actions, pseudo staggering him, etc.
Yep,
I mean,
absolutely.
with Thor, you could actually stagger him and throw him away, which would be really ideal. Although I guess Blade doesn't care about stagger, right?
Yeah, Blade doesn't care about it. Yeah, as long as he has $1, he can always just clear himself off. So, the witness damages out within range 1, correct? Okay. Yeah, because it's like the blue wedding does within 2 that it does the power drain. So yeah, it definitely seems like Curtis's team is safe from the witness, I guess, if you wanted to like bring it in and like do damage. I'm assuming it's gonna like double tap like blade and mummy, and he'll just put it like right where it is.
Kurtis is still one action left on his Hulk.
Yeah, he's thinking this one through.
I think that was the biggest lesson that I learned at Squad Goals was my round one. I had 23 minutes left on my clock, that was my one loss of the event. And then in the other rounds, I just sat in the tank a little bit longer, used my clock, and found the better lines.
Yep, yeah, I definitely yeah, using clocks are so weird where it's like you definitely want to like use your time as much as possible and be like as efficient as possible, but also like slowing down sometimes and just using it is also very important. You can like end a game with like about 3 minutes left. That's you've done the perfect job, right?
Yeah. Hulk deciding to move within two of Man Thing, not picking up the extract, so it looks like he'll probably throw Blade or Mummy off the point. It looks like he's looking at Blade.
Uh,
Now he's looking at Mummy.
yep. Yeah, I think getting mummy out of there is probably good because
You
if
want to,
mummy's like needing to burn like power and souls to like make gunshots, you're feeling pretty good about all that. So
yeah, and you probably want to lay into Blade anyway with your
exactly,
Thor
yeah.
or your Hulk.
Yep.
Oh, he's looking for the line of maybe getting greedy here, throwing Mummy into Blade, dealing a little damage, and keeping Mummy off the point. And then you can do some
Honest,
bowling with Thor or
honestly,
Hulk
you.
next round.
I mean, do you think this game's gonna go to like scoring out? Because like if not, I think like throwing mummy into blade and then just like dumping the witness on both of them, damaging them both feels like kind of a nice line, right? And you can
Yeah.
just like blow up 2 models potentially like top of turn.
My personal philosophy is that if there's less than 8 VPs on the board, I don't want to say forego scenario, but attrition is the main game plan at that point.
That's fair.
So he is throwing Mummy away.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Just like get him out of there. I think he's out of range 4 as well of Hulk, so if he does want to like go in, he has to like spend at least 1 soul next turn with bump
So
to like actually make a single gunshot.
Nobility just with Bob left to go.
Yeah.
We've got the bunker set up now on Curtis's side with Steve and Okoye, both within two of either Hulk or Thor. Thor sitting behind cover holding an extract. Hulk and Blade about to tie the south Fisk point. Man Thing is dazed, and Mummy's been thrown back towards his deployment. Red Skull, the single extract carrier for Nobility, kind of stranded up north after his safe grab.
Yep. That seems just perfect and kind of what you want to do. Like just keep your opponent's like best, most damage dealing model away from the fight. Just
Yeah,
like make them spend a turn or two to like come and play.
Bob is moving,
Yep. Yeah, I
and
definitely
Bob,
assume he takes the witness. That's
yeah.
worth 2 points, and the power core is only worth 1. Yeah, so I guess the interesting thing now that like comes up is where the witness is gonna go. Well, that one, the one that like Hulk and Blade are contesting stays there, but where does Curtis put that witness
Yeah, I guess you have
that
two
Bob is
options, right? You
contesting?
move it towards your team so that you can fight over it, or you move it away so that You keep Bob and his rocket away from your bunker, which I kind of like that line.
So Red Skull's over there. He's gonna squirt the grunts out. You can definitely like just kind of have the grunts
Mm,
come and take that witness, right? And they can just chase it then for the rest of the game while they're safe and sound, far away from
that's true.
everything else. So yeah, it makes sense to like just kind of bring it into the fold and tighten the game, increase your like bodyguard like bubble, and like create like it's if you can like shrink the map and you're like covering most of the map with your bodyguard bubble, that feels pretty potent.
So the witness was moved. It was moved towards Hulk, the Hulk Okoye bunker there, which I think
Yep.
is where most people probably would land.
Yeah, I think so too. That seems like a reasonable spot. So
Bob. Okay, so
all
what
right.
was that Hulk and a man thing?
No, I think this is a Koye in the man thing.
Okay.
All right. Well, what if she? All right. This is getting scary.
Was that a reserve member's use?
It was,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. Well, a little sadder on that one, but
I mean, it's all free damage. Oh, well, no damage, but
uh, yeah. So man thing's gonna heal too when he
uh,
goes. He's probably gonna go soon. Man thing could also do a very fun play where if he like bumps towards Red Skull, I don't know the exact range, but that looks
oh,
pretty damn close to like just bump back, teleport Red Skull up 3, put him in a spot where he like then is in like bump range to like come and threaten, and then your like man thing could literally teleport himself and then make like a double tap as well, and that would like cost 7 power. You have 2 left, so you throw out like 1 tentacles, 1 spender potentially.
that's a really good shout out that I'm definitely not thinking of is the impact that a 9 power man thing can have on the board.
Yeah, yep.
Like, that's a lot for a 3 threat.
Sure is. Yeah. Well, he's taking a lot of punishments this game, so he's already taken like 7 damage and didn't spend any, or he spent like only 1. No, he took 8 damage. God damn.
I was a little surprised to see the Okoye opening rather than one of his bigger damage dealers, but you think is that because he wants to hold them for the displacement they offer later in the game?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Kurtis is looking to like just kind of like springboard and like crush out the scenario from here, because if you can score like 6 points a turn, that's a pretty quick clock even on like this not scoring like scenario set.
Yeah. So it looks like Nobility does see the line that you were referencing. He is looking to see how he can get the extract, move himself back towards Red Skull, move Red Skull up,
Yep.
and be as efficient as possible with his actions and his teleports.
Yeah. It looks like he's a little too far for bump, so he probably has to like teleport himself. Then you can move Red Skull, and then you can like walk, grab the thing, and then like walk again, bump away, which would be kind of fun, and like blow your whole load. But
And heal too at the end of that.
and heal, yeah, of course, yeah, you get the healing factor. Yeah, you could go back to full, which is bad, not bad at all. But yeah, you having like Hulk, Steve, and Okoye is like kind of great because all 3 of those models are like good displacement models. Like Steve has a pretty reliable like uh his like trigger. It's like 5 dice with like a push for like size 3, which is the whole team is kind of nice. And then Shield Slam is just like the guaranteed size 3 throw. Like that's omnidirectional at that is pretty sick.
We're seeing the bump here to start. Looks like he
Okay.
just gets into the extract.
Yep.
Ooh, I think he took off two. Oh, yeah, 2 power.
Yeah, you didn't pull off the one for the bump yet, so
Always looking to take an attack into Steve before he goes to go pick up his buddy.
yeah, you're right there. You might as well, right?
And that's his
'Cause
range 3 is only his builder, right? It's not the spender, or is it the
yeah,
spender?
it's just
Okay,
it's both.
okay.
He's got long, weird, squiddly arms.
And I know the spender offers some conditions, right?
Yeah, it is incinerate and poison automatically, no damage required. Which those are both pretty relevant into like a Steve or an Okoye. So okay,
Yeah, we're
looks
seeing
like
it. The attack here into Okoye.
yeah.
Presumably she reserves members.
Yeah, I think so. She probably will, because he's already used one. No, he's not used any actions yet, so. It's kind of nice, because if you actually, like, hit Okoye with, like, the Whalen, you can, like, pull her away from, like, the bubble, and it makes her, like, a lot less effective. Alright.
Looks like Steve's gonna take it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense, because, like, Steve is body blocked by Okoye, so he can't get, like, slurped up and, like, pulled in. So he, like, just kind of gets to maintain the bubble.
Kurtis whiffs and Nobility does not.
Oh, maybe he just kills Steve.
That would be ideal. We have a crit coming
Yeah.
in for Nobility, unless you rolled it and I just didn't
He
see.
rolled it already.
Okay.
Yeah, you just might be a little behind. Yeah. Yeah, because he has 4 hits currently. Steve only has 5 on that side. If you blow bats here, you just smoke him. Which I don't hate. It's like, okay, well, you already have prio. Have some more.
Yeah, that also applies a little bit of scenario pressure as well. Just having one less model that can contest the Fisk or displace. Steve on 3
Exactly. Yeah.
power
Like,
can definitely displace a few models, or at least one model
yeah,
rather.
he can like walk and displace any single model that he has. So, okay, it looks like he's just doing the 4 and putting the Fear of God into Steve a little, which seems totally reasonable.
The nice thing about not using any actions is that sitting on 10 power, he could still get a little gritty here, take another attack into Steve. Although Okoye's just going to bodyguard that, I suppose.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, you also have like now that you have 10 power and another action, you do have like spender money, and you could just like double teleport too plus spender. So
God, this character's cool.
yeah, man, things not well. Yeah, if he gets juiced up or whatever, like I've like seen some games where he's just useless, but he's just like, okay, well, I have this like 3 threat model that has a 5 die attack that has a hard trigger to get and no power. Um, have fun.
Yeah, I like living in the world of the ceiling though, and my 3 threat having
For
that,
sure.
that huge ceiling is kind of nice.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, like yeah, man, thing's cool. If he gets juiced up, he can do some stuff. He can like reshape the battlefield and like dish out some damage, which
I don't know
is
if you
kind of what
caught
you
that
want.
there. It looks like Steve's going to be out of range 2 to bodyguard for Hulk, in case there's an
That
attack in
seems
a
great.
Hulk. 3 power coming off the man thing here. Looks like a Spender coming in into Steve.
Yeah, do that, and then he probably bodyguards. Well, it's interesting, right? Do you really want your Okoye to be incinerated and poisoned, or do you just let Steve go down?
At this point, I don't know how impactful Steve's going to be with 1 health left. She's going to
Oh, that's the best kind of bodyguard, right? Is like, oh wow, you put this big attack into Hulk. Okay,
That's true.
well I guess Steve will take it. You know,
No, you have a Koye still for that as well. And
for
currently,
sure.
currently Steve's not in a position to bodyguard. Oop, are we seeing the bodyguard here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okoye is jumping in front of it, I think, and she reserved as well too.
Solid block on Kurtis' side so far.
Yeah, she's doing good, and she gets a reroll too. I'm assuming Jeremy's not gonna bats that.
2 damage going through, and the poison incinerate.
Yep, which is totally fine.
Still setting on 7 power, so he's going to teleport, move Red Skull up, and make him more relevant, which is nice.
Yep.
It's really hard to predict with the man thing with that much power. It's really hard to predict how the board is going to adjust.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh,
Especially with like bump two. He can just be like wherever he wants and just do everything.
yeah, I
It's
felt
also nice too that like he got to like spend off all of his power. So he's not gonna like have the trigger from the Kree popping him and dealing like free damage.
yeah, that's a good shout out as well. I was more thinking so far as I was looking at Nobility's positioning after round 1, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that, but he's put himself. Actually, I'm a little surprised there. Can you maybe tell us why Red Skull straight up the board rather than maybe angled more towards the ability? I guess he can move bump towards that North Fisk and still get an
Yeah,
attack in.
I think that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
You don't want to be like too close to Hulk because Hulk can very easily just like hop and then like walk, punch, throw you, and
Hmm.
then Red Skull's you've blown all this power,
and you're in
and
the
like
same
Red Skull's
situation.
like
Yeah,
still staggered. Whereas like this way, if he like has to walk, he like can walk, get a bump, and then be in range of like literally any of the models, which is kind of like perfectly where you want to be. So,
all right, Steve moving up here for Kurtis, and he's going to take a
yep.
shield throw into Bob.
Yeah, I think this is the perfect guy to hit. So, especially when you're pissed off.
That's a good hit.
Yeah, couldn't be any better. You get the guy and you get that ricochet. Yeah, Red Skull's already damaged. You probably just bonk into him, right?
Yeah, I mean,
And-
best case scenario, you do enough damage where he's in danger of getting alien cord at the end of the round.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, well, clearly somebody shouldn't Steve cereal today. Okay, it's
Decent
only
block.
two, but that's fine though. Yeah, 2 damage is 2 damage.
And he's within range 2 now of Hulk the bodyguard.
Yep, which is exactly what you want for your 1 HP red or like Captain America to do.
Yep,
Just dive in front of that like bullet or whatever, take one for the team and get better when he's on his like flip side. Because like the one thing that like Jeremy doesn't really have is like throws. And because of that, you have to engage with like Steve rolling blanks, extra dice, right? So that's like definitely where you like want him to be, and that's like where he's like at his strongest. Is if your opponent can't just deal like that direct auto damage into you.
absolutely. And I think I think you're pretty happy here to take down that 2 threat, so you're not being you're a rocket here would have been really bad. It would have taken out potentially Okoye, Steve.
Yeah,
You would have had
exactly.
maximum. I mean, I don't know if you would have done it. I guess maybe it's something you
Yeah, no,
save
you
next
just
round.
like you shoot the rocket like straight at like Okoye's like head or whatever, and then it's like, okay, well, did you want to have lose Okoye and Steve or Steve and Okoye, right? Like
Yeah.
either way, they're both gonna probably go down from like that 9 die shot. So,
TG Lord asks, uh, would you have Bast in that situation to take Steve out and prevent his activation?
uh, I think you're okay like leaving him up. Like it's hard. I don't know.
I
Maybe you do.
mean, it was a 5 die attack into Bob.
Yeah.
Not that it can't kill, but there's a lot of timelines where Bob has got 1 or 2 damage into him right now.
Right. Yeah, I think it's like probably about like a 40% to like pick up Bob with like 5 dice.
Yeah,
I want to
I
say.
think I'd like to have bats around for my blade to either keep him alive or to push damage through off of a spender or something like that. Or
Or just like a regular builder too,
yeah,
because you can like choose like the Pierce, right? And that's worth 2 damage.
exactly.
So, yeah, I think it's like worth saving it until like it really matters. But we'll see if that actually like comes to like punish Jeremy like as the game progresses. But I feel like there's like just enough. You can like probably get like enough damage or whatever to like kill Steve. You also have like the Hydra Grunts too, who can like pop out and they'll just get like a free shot at like Steve or Okoye. Because I
Nobility
don't think
looks
with
like
like
he's wanting to rotate here a little bit. He's considering a move on blade. He doesn't have the power to spender and then move away further. So he's still okay. He's looking maybe at a glaives now.
yeah, the glaive is a little dubious. You might have to like if you like bump first, then you like throw glaive. That might be nice.
It's gonna give you a much better short advance after that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's like kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, because if you can like hit it and stuff, you can then get over and then like throw a stab at either like Okoye or Steve and just get like the fight moving.
Yeah, right now Blade's position, if he attacks Hulk, it's gonna get moved off to Steve or Okoye anyway.
Right.
Going into Hulk, going into Thor is unlikely to get him this round. So you're just powering up Thor, who's gonna be able to displace you.
Yeah. We'll definitely see what. Because Mummy, I'm pretty sure will get to go still last.
All right, so we are
So I
seeing the
assume he'll
Blade.
like walk bump and then throw out like a spender or something because he now has 3 souls.
All right, so
He's
Blade throwing a
juiced.
glaive into Steve after bumping.
Yep. Looks like this was bodyguard to Okoye.
Koya blocks it, but
Or
he
was
does get
it?
the advance. Well, someone blocked something. I don't know
Okay.
if I saw the power come off of Okoye.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because only 3 dice are
Ch-
rolled, which would be Okoye with reserve members. Steve has 4 physicals, so
there's nothing in the log,
yeah, I don't know.
so it was just Steve, I guess.
Maybe he just threw the attack at Okoye and just called
That's
it.
also possible. Well, he's
No,
measuring.
he
No,
was
he's
moving
measuring to
towards
Steve.
Steve. Why do you only roll 3 dice then? What is he doing?
It's just a power move.
I guess, yeah. Just flex.
All right, Blade.
So
Look,
now
look.
that you're here, do you get really frisky and throw another glaive?
Actually, that's what I was thinking. Like,
I kind of like that, honestly.
yeah, I like being a little greedy there.
Yeah,
It's a gamble. I
you're
mean,
like
it's
falling.
not a bad gamble.
Yeah, you're falling behind a little. Well, the fight feels kind of close, but like, if you can like daze a Steve or a Koye there, you're feeling pretty good. Just to like get him flipped and get the train moving. Because like you're not going to be able to like set up like a big swing turn with like this scenario set, at least for a couple turns anyways.
Yeah.
And leaving Steve on 1 HP for a while feels bad, right? So,
So that was
because then it
Blade
means you're
done.
just
He's
like,
sitting on the North Fisk. The Fisk points fairly close together. Hulk will be able to impact both of those points if he wants it.
yep,
Extra carriers at the moment are Man Thing, who's far and away from any kind of danger. Red Skull, who's north, sitting on 3 damage, but he looks like he will get into the fight. I think you have to get him in the fight. And now
yep,
Thor, who looks like he's going to activate and get within range 2 of Steve on presumably a charge. Yeah,
yep, I think so.
charging a blade here, which I like. I mean, best case scenario, you're going to roll a throw at some point and get him off the point.
Yeah, you got 6 dice or whatever. It's like 60%er. You got good odds.
All right,
The
Thor and
thing
blade.
that he could have done that might have been like really fun was if you like charge up, like pretty much base to base with blade, you might be able to get within range 5 of Red Skull, and you can just throw a hammer at his like stupid ass and
he
steal a die from him.
he does get the wild throw.
Okay.
4 damage coming through. No blocks, but we're getting a reroll here from Blade.
Yeah, I think you go to the money store on this. Might as well. Taking damage anyways. Okay.
Yeah, blocking 2.
Yeah.
He'll
2
take
with the
he'll
throw.
take another one from the throw.
Yep.
Now his throw's away, right?
It is away, yeah. Yeah, that was close. I don't know if you could have quite got to Red Skull with Thor there. Oh, did you just choose not to throw him?
He wants to get a
Interesting.
second attack in.
Yeah, you have hammer throw. Just
That's
throw the
true.
hammer at him.
Yeah, but he got another throw, so there's no harm, no foul.
I guess so.
He knew he was confident.
Yeah.
So it looks like 2 damage coming through here and another throw, unless Nobility chooses to do the rerolls again.
I think it's just 1 damage. Because it's 3 to
Oh
2.
yeah, that is how math works.
Yep.
A good shout.
Alright, he just wants no damage. I think, well, he already charged, so if you can, like, stop him from getting that, like, extra power for, like, the buyable throw as well,
Yeah.
too, you're feeling really nice.
Nasty points out in the chat that there was a stagger on that Thor charge that we didn't
Oh, there
catch.
sure was. Yeah, well, hopefully they get
Realistically,
it.
Nasty, it doesn't impact the game a ton because it really is just more of a 1 power cost to blade to remove. But
Yeah.
still,
I mean, that economy might, like, fuck with him a little, right? Especially with, like, he's spending, like, a lot of money on rerolls. So, you'll see if it, like, actually comes up, but probably not, all things considered, so.
mildly surprised on my part that he chose. Okay, he's gonna throw a car here.
Yep, yeah, I think that seems good. Just, like, make bad choices.
I was just mildly surprised he didn't throw him off the point, but I guess if you do that, you don't have the range to throw that car.
Exactly, yeah. If you can just, like, burn him down quick, feels okay. Plus, like, Mummy, so it's like not like a big thing, but like Mummy's already like capped on souls. You should just try to do all your violence at like once, so you don't give Mummy like free resources.
Yeah,
So It's
Also,
that's a very minor thing. Like definitely like don't make game plans like you out in listener land based on just that. But if like, it lines up, that's okay, right?
yeah, I think Kurtis was. This was a win-win for Kurtis. I don't think Nobility there was a world where he was going to brace.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. So,
So you're pretty safe to throw that car.
yep.
And ultimately, Hulk's going to have the ability to displace Blade and win that North Point anyway.
Uh, I think Hulk is kind of pot committed to the South Point now. It looks like, unless I guess you want to like rotate up and just like keep the score at like 1-2 for forever.
Well, I mean, Mummy's going to presumably go last, or whoever's going to go last is going to win their point for Nobility. So I guess it's just a
Yeah,
choice.
that's true.
But oh, if you're Hulk, you can displace Mummy and then go potentially tie that witness.
Yeah, I think you want to save Red Skull though. Is kind of what it comes down to. Like,
Right.
because Red Skull also gets to like squirt out the grunts, and I'm pretty sure they can like
Will the grunts
them
get
popping
there in a
out
move
plus
though?
walk or whatever should make it to like the Blade Witness if Blade does get cleared off.
Yeah, I have a my spatial awareness on TTS plus when streaming in the fixed angle is way worse. It's very
Okay,
similar to a toddler.
that's fair. I
Mummy
can
taking a shot
I
with
have
Steve.
the freedom or whatever to just kind
Yeah,
of zip around the app and look at stuff. Yeah. So,
I didn't
but
realize
yeah,
the
the grunts
grunts would have
threat
that
like
range. Okay,
9. They like threat like 9 inches or whatever, effectively with like contest range because
fair
it's like
enough.
3 for like place plus 1 inch place plus base, and then walk plus that is another 5 inches, then another one
Yeah.
for
So Mummy
that.
does
So
take down Steve here,
yep, makes
and
sense.
he used his power. So
Oh man, I would have used the souls on that.
yeah, I was surprised he didn't spend a soul first. Oh, maybe he did spend a soul first for the power, and maybe we just didn't catch that. Uh,
No, I think
nope.
he spent both. He had 2 power on him. He
Yeah.
spent both power. Whoopsie diddle.
All right, just for anyone watching, I think there's a minor efficiency thing there where he could have spent a token, get a
Yep, he
power.
would have got literally got 2 power back or whatever, and just had like two free dollars
Yep.
and been at 3 souls there. But well, here we are.
Not a huge thing, but it's a minor thing. It's one of
Yeah,
those
for
things you
sure.
can do to be slightly more efficient at home.
Yeah, it's not like Mummy really needs power for anything other than like gun. And once he's got it, right?
Yeah.
So like, he
I suggest
doesn't even have
Kurtis
like the
with
Mummy
Hulk left to
card.
go.
So
Again, the extract holders are Thor on Kurtis' side, who's currently not standing on a point, and then Red Skull and Man Thing for Nobility.
yep,
Currently, the only models on Secures are Blade and Mummy. Steve is dazed. Mummy's on his. Sorry, not Mummy. Man Thing's on his injured side. Blade sitting at 5 out of 6 damage, and Bob has been dazed, still
yep,
holding a rocket.
still got it. He's ready for war. And the nice thing too about like Bob is now that like if Kurtis wants to stop this like juicy rocket that's just there, Kurtis has to do homework literally every single turn of like killing Bob,
Yeah,
which can definitely like kind of tax actions and like force activations, which isn't the worst thing ever, especially on a team that like definitely wants to like take layered. Like you have almost like a set order of like operations with like Kurtis's team of like the models you want to go first versus like last.
yeah.
And if you can like force a model that Kurtis definitely doesn't want to like use to like prevent a rocket, you can like get like little advantages from that.
Yeah, it's why I really like Nobility's team here being 5.5 models wide. It's just wasting Kurtis's precious actions, especially if he dazes a model and Kurtis goes down to 6 actions for the round. It can be really hard to not let Nobility score 4 or 5 points in a round.
Exactly, yeah. And you can like definitely like pressure a lot of like scenario stuff. Bob never dies. Mummy's super thick. Blade is relatively thick with like rerolls. Red Skull's got an HP pool that sometimes is defensive. That boy is so squishy sometimes, I tell you. And then like Man Thing is relatively tanky too. So yeah, they're not like easy models to like go and blow up. And like Kurtis doesn't have like he's got like okay attacking models, but they're not like the hideous of models, right?
Yeah. So Hulk does the throw Mummy gets him away from that point, so it looks like no one's going
Yep.
to score that this round. Hulk now using
All
an
right.
action to move towards the Fisk on the north
Yeah, he's
side.
just bunkering harder than anyone has ever bunkered before.
Hulk punching into Blade now.
Yep. Yeah, he's like slightly overlapping. I think they're going to adjust that. There we go.
Just needing 1 damage on Blade, who does have the power for rerolls.
Okay.
Big hit, so gonna need a lot of rerolls.
Clearly, Hulk is very upset today. The boy is just hitting everything.
So that's Blade going down here.
Yep. Yeah, looks good. Good Hulk activation. A plus. Displace a guy, punch a guy, get a point. What more could he ask for, right?
Alright, looks like Red Skull's gonna go pop out his grunts. They're staggered, so they'll shake that, and they have 1 action remaining.
Yep. Yeah, looks
Now
like.
looking at super obvious they get to the point. Yeah, good call on that.
Yep. Yeah. I played a lot of Red Skull in my day, so like grunt ranges for like just contesting stuff. It's just kind of in my brain.
I
I
love that
respect them too
model.
much. Yeah, they're pretty all right. Red Skull's a cool guy. All right, so it looks like Mummy forgot to grab the soul. Maybe he'll remember at some point. Yeah, keep Red Skull over here where it's nice and safe, far away from the spooky man, and then.
Oh, I didn't consider this. The double move from
Oh
Red
yeah,
Skull.
just go
Score two
go hard
points.
on scenario. You definitely need to bump to not. Is it 3 or more power?
Yes.
Okay, so you could pay for empowered gauntlets, throw a punch, hope that you hit your trigger, and then just like bump over to the witness. You could also just spend 2 power 2 for the empowered gauntlets and just say
Yeah.
screw it and just like not take damage.
Let's see if he catches that line.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh.
Oh, he's just obliterating.
Cosmic Oblit. That seems like a better use of the power.
You know what? Yeah, fair play, fair play. Yeah, hex everybody. Get him out of here.
That's a really good Red Skull activation for Nobility. I didn't see that coming, but he kind of accomplishes all of his goals, dump his power, be annoying, score some points.
See, he could have did that with an attack too if he was brave, but he did not want to.
All right, so it looks like we're gonna finish this round. What, scoring 4 for Nobility to Kurtis's 1?
Yeah, looks like it.
Well, you feel pretty good about that if you're Nobility. More points is definitely
Yeah,
better than less points.
true that. Yeah, points is generally how you win the game. So yeah, it looks like he forgot the soul on Mummy. I don't think it's gonna matter too much, but it's something. That was like the blade soul, but
Yeah, I mean, when you play a player of Kurtis's caliber, especially like, I mean, Nobility, I'm sure has beaten him in the past, or maybe he hasn't.
I think the Gabagool guys versus like just the true meatmen has been pretty true meatmen favored like
Fair
historically,
enough.
but yeah.
Well, Nobility wants. I'm sure this would be his first Lunchmeat win, right? So
Yes, he's
maybe,
definitely wants it, and I'm also a little bit
yeah.
too because I would enjoy having my 6 versus Curtis's 5 to keep rubbing it in, but we'll see.
And I think he's just really focused on making some really great plays. I really like the lines he's taking. And I
Yeah,
feel
no,
like
I think they've been fantastic. Yeah,
yeah, I feel like when you're locked in like that, sometimes it makes it even easier to miss the little things like a soul token.
right. Yeah, because that's like such like a weird like little like trigger that's not even associated with like the action that's happening. It's like something far.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Um, we were talking as a group, pork roll, kind of at squad goals. Like, you play, you get into your rivalries with like Montreal, etc. And then you go to something like squad goals and you see like what the tippy top players look like with the Curtises and the Meatmen, etc.
Mm.
And we were talking like one of the biggest things that separates the guys at this level and sort of that next group is a guy like Kurtis doesn't really make many mistakes and doesn't give you room to capitalize. And Nobility is doing a lot of that right now where he's playing really safe and saying to Kurtis, Now you need to make some commitments here. I'm not going to make, a low percentage play or a lower percentage play. I'm going to take the high percentage play, score my points, and see if your dice keep holding up.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic like way to go about it. So
Well, Curtis has got priority now. Let's see what he
yep,
decides
he
to do
sure
with it.
does.
We've moved those witnesses really close together now, which I think gives Curtis a level advantage here. We are in round 3, even though the score tracker says 1.
Uh, weird. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's still stuck on the round tracker too, on like the little placard. Maybe that's because Curtis was touching it 800 times before the game started or something, and he like ruined it. So
Imagine Curtis looking for a high impact uh, turn 1 here. A little
for sure,
scary
yeah.
with Bob holding a rocket who can target. I guess if
Any
it's.
of them, any model
Yeah.
gets
Take.
to blow up the thing and get like the 2 damage on everyone.
All right,
So
Steve is going into Blade.
yeah, Steve has like a decent line to like kill Blade here too,
He
because you get
spent 2
like
power, so he's going to be
yeah
throwing
he's
Blade.
yeah you get like double spender, which is like 2 guaranteed. Oh my god, Steve, chill out.
Oh Lord,
He is not having it today.
he's looking like your magic.
I know, right? Well, okay, Magic just does that normally. Okay.
Oh wow, just a casual 8.
Okay, well, sure. Um,
Oh, here comes the
yeah,
rerolls.
yeah, you might as well try to live. You can convert 2. You're feeling okay. Okay, that's not good. All right,
There
well, I
goes your leader.
guess Blade will just die.
Uh, could he have batsed there to stay alive?
No, he couldn't, because well,
He would have
so
taken.
he spent the so he spent the 2 power. I guess you could have blown your brace and your bats to keep your guy alive for
Probably not.
Steve to make a second
Yeah.
2 power attack that has a guaranteed throw that just auto kills you. And he was like out of sacrifice range for Bob as well too, which was unfortunate. So
All right. Another attack coming in here. Did you
okay,
see?
Steve, calm down. Jesus Christ, guy.
I didn't catch. Who's he targeting?
Bob.
Bob. Okay.
Yep.
You love to see it. If you're
Yeah, and Bob has that neat little thing where he doesn't die, so his corpse ricochets perfectly. So okay, well, I guess it'd be
is
like that
he
sometimes.
choosing not to ricochet?
No, I think he will. I think he's just
Oh,
thinking
okay.
it through.
He dropped a token on Steve there.
Oh, maybe he chose not to then. I think you just
Hit
go
it.
for the ricochet into the Hydra troops. It's like literally like
It's free as it
you
can
lose
get.
nothing from it, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just free damage, free power.
Maybe he just. It's possible that because he KO'd Bob, maybe he didn't realize you could bounce it after that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know.
Or he's just riding the emotional high of rolling 17. No, what was that? 14, 15
Eight
success,
and
whatever.
8 and 5. Yeah, 13
13
hits on
successes, 13 dice.
14 dice that you just rolled. Yeah, or 13 dice. Yeah. Oh, what a guy.
He's some power is being spent, so Steve is bodyguarding
Yep,
for Okoye off of a
of
Hydra Troop is
course.
shot.
Yep. Yeah, you have your like 4 into 4, and you get blanks. Your dice are just like strictly better. Oh, he's going real tough, real tall. All right, grunts, get
Steve
out of here.
blocking 5.
Before the crit.
We're going to do it again, so Steve's going to bodyguard
Yep,
again.
sure.
Not paying to be a tough guy.
Yeah.
This is your
All
time to
right, grunts.
shine,
That was your one
Grunts.
shot. You rolled so bad.
Well, they got 1 damage through.
That's something.
All right, Red Skull, what are you going to do here? I mean, what Nobility wants to do doesn't really matter as much as what Kurtis lets him do.
Yeah, exactly.
Kurtis sitting on a patch up in a recal, so Steve's feeling pretty safe about taking additional damage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably only still want 1 attack going into him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Red Skull's going to
So
empower the gauntlets,
yep.
and he's targeting
Yeah.
Okoye.
Yeah, I think you just let her go down. All right, he's reserving. Makes sense.
All right, 6 and a 4 with a reroll.
Uh,
Uh,
get, die.
she goes down.
Oh hell
Oh,
yeah! And he hits the wild for the pursuit. Let's go. You love to see it.
notable that Steve was the only model there that wasn't hexed, allowing him to pop
Uh,
off at the start of that round.
right? Yeah.
So if you're Red Skull, is there any concern with moving forward into Hulk range? Or are you just kind of okay with that?
You have 3 HP left. Hulk can just pretty much like hop at you and slap you anyway, so you're probably going down either way.
Just commit.
So I don't think it matters too much. Just stay like maybe stay out of 2 of Hulk, I guess. Is probably like the best course, and just like force him to move if he wants him.
Is there a world where maybe you move? Oh, you have to move toward. No, you can move any direction, right?
It's Omni, yeah. That's great.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's a
maybe you
world where
just
you
like
move. Yeah, I was gonna say like this. You
max of
take another
Steve and
another
then.
attack, and then if you get the trigger again, you can move towards Man Thing. And
Oh,
then
did he not empower the gauntlets on that attack?
he did.
He didn't spend the power off of it because the attack still.
He did.
Oh, okay. Now he's doing it. Okay. All right. There we go. He was just like a little late on it.
Well, you are correct. He.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Look at
just did it now. Yeah.
interesting. He's looking to maybe move on a different angle than I expected and target Thor.
Man, I think you just like run it at Steve and just try and like outdice him because your dice are better than him. You're rolling like 6 dice into his
6 dice as well,
6 as
but
well too, but you got better dice, so you might be able to like chip through potentially like some damage,
yeah, I mean,
and then
he is sitting on recal and patch up, so if you don't get him, the attack feels a little bad.
it's fine. But if you're like getting patch up and like recal out like
It's true.
somewhat early in the game, it's like turn 3, but like it's a slow scenario set, so if you can like burn both of those right away, you're not feeling too terrible.
I like this line right here. It gives him some
I I,
options to
I
be
like this
safe.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. Power the gauntlets. Punch Steve.
Yep. Yeah. Steve definitely pays for extra dice and blocks 100 damage.
Oh, man. Once again, not
Maybe.
not being hexed is pretty good.
Oh my god, none of those converted. He poked them for 1. Let's go.
Are there any no triggers though, right?
Yeah, he got the
Oh,
wild
yes.
and the move.
Oh,
He
it's
got the pursuit again. Yeah.
because it's wild
Or
shield or hit shield for
what?
the
Wild. It's wilds is everything that like both of the triggers are
yeah.
keyed on. So
A
it's like
wild
wild
shield
shield push.
push. Yeah,
Yep.
okay. These are things I have to know. I'm playing him tomorrow for the first time in forever.
Oh yeah.
We have a LVO qualifier, and I thought it was the best time for me to try Dormammu and Kingpin. Totally untested list that just seems fun.
Sure. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, especially if you're trying to qualify for LVO. Perfect time to play
Uh,
brand new models you've never played before.
None of us are going this year, unfortunately. All my buddies are going to WTC.
Oh, sure. Okay. Are they? So you could do the triathlon of MCP if you wanted. You could do like LVO, Second Wind, and WTC if you're a true man and a true powerful like player of the game.
After going to Squad Goals, Second Wind is definitely something I'm going to consider in the future.
Yeah, it's the second best tournament of the year. I gotta say, with the squad rules being first. So
Yeah, it's something I'm gonna. Squad Goals is my number one for next year to prioritize,
yep,
and Second Wind is definitely up there. Something I want to do now.
yep, yeah, it's fantastic. It's get on the waitlist, people who are still in, or like who are not, or like who have any interest in going. The waitlist churns, and you'll definitely get in. So
Just looking to go with Man Thing here. Was there a pass from Kurtis? Oh no, this is
Kurtis
Curtis. This is Curtis.
disconnected, it looked like. Or no, it said Steam P2P session failed with Kurtis. I don't know what that means.
I'm still
Okay.
I'm still streaming. We're still going here.
Okay. I'm still going too. I'm still in the game.
Oh,
I don't know why it gave me that message, but here we are.
oh boy. Yeah, I thought there was a pass there because there was a measurement off the man thing, but it was just Curtis's ruler.
Yep.
So no pass. Mostly because he can't.
Right. Yeah.
That's the bigger factor.
He killed too good.
Steve was angry.
Yep. He sure was. Yeah. So it's a man thing and a mummy versus a Hulk and a Thor.
Um, not uh, not a lot of immediate targets for Curtis to hit. I mean, you can throw the grunts or hit the grunts. Looks like there's a charge coming from Thor. Yeah, just clear the grunts out.
Yeah, I think just get the
And
power from the grunts, and then
move the Fisk a bunch.
yep, yeah, go and get on that. I think the nice thing too is that like because of how the terrain is, Thor can like literally just like pop the can throw a hammer at Man Thing, shock him, and just be like away, right?
Hmm.
And like be out of line of sight for Man Thing to retaliate because of the size 3 van. Blocks line of sight to Thor, but it doesn't block it to Man Thing.
All right, here comes the attack from Thor into the grunts.
Okay, they'll explode.
Goodbye, grunts.
Yep.
He'll get 2 power for that. 3 power for that.
3 power.
I forgot they had respawned.
Yep. And they got staggered too. Can't forget. Very important.
Patch up coming in here on Steve.
Yeah, makes sense.
And he's still got. Oh, he's choosing not to use his last action.
Yeah, you're there. What do you need it for? You could like throw out a hammer, I guess. You
Uh,
could. Yeah, you have line of sight to Red Skull, so you could just like zap him potentially, but that's okay. Sometimes you don't need all your actions.
well, when Steve goes on a murder rampage like that,
Right, yeah. Thor's just like, all right, I guess I'll just hang out. Whatever. This is
after a
fine.
Man Thing changed the world last round, he doesn't have a lot of impact he can have right now. He can move Steve out of bodyguard range, and then maybe incinerate him, which would be kind of nice. Incinerate on a injured side Steve is pretty impactful.
Yeah.
And then
I think
also,
also just like pulling him into away from his friends also isn't terrible.
yeah,
And like getting him off the points.
would also put him within 3 of Red Skull for next round.
Okay. Well,
Well, big hit
Steve
coming
just
in.
blocked like a god, but
Well, he does that.
yeah,
But he'll
you
still be
got the
able to
pull
move
though.
him. Yeah, he'll still be able to move him within 2 of Man Thing for the incinerate.
Yep, that seems just fantastic. Which is
Unfortunately,
nice
though,
because then
Man Thing
like
out of actions and not getting the power he needs to impact the board further.
right. I wonder if there was a spot if like Jeremy had taken like a slightly wider angle Steve, where
Oh,
you could get him within like mummy like double tap range and also still be within 2 of Man Thing.
yeah. Question here: was that a missed incinerate on Steve? I thought if he finishes within
Um
2 after an attack, or is that only on when you're defending? I thought there was an offensive one too.
no, it's offensive too. Yeah,
Okay.
he
Maybe just a miss.
maybe just a miss. Yeah, he might be like a little like tilted too after like losing blade from like.
Oh, Nasty says he thinks it. Oh, the chat's calling out. They need to do damage.
Oh, if it was dealt damage. Okay, yeah.
Mm.
Good job, chat. Knew we could count on you guys.
All right, Hulk hopping.
Yep. Okay. Bye,
And
man thing.
yeah,
See
I
you
don't.
later.
Just okay. That was the power for a throw. Yep, there it is. And
The
here comes
terrain
the
throw.
very quick brace.
Yep.
So now Man Thing's gonna eat 2 7-die attacks. He is within range 2 of Hulk, so he'll get incinerated. But at this point in the game, you're not really expecting to burn down a Hulk, not without Blade.
Yeah, it might be difficult.
You've got some pretty weak siege
Although,
available to you.
yeah, I was gonna say you could like do a siege potentially, which is an extra attacks, but Steve's right there, so it's
Yeah.
like, eh.
I mean, there's a world
You-
where you can use something like Siege and Swahili Strike to move Steve, leverage Man Thing and Red Skull to attacks, but yeah, it seems like a pretty big uphill battle there.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Soft hit for Hulk after many. Well, when you don't block
Well,
anything.
yeah, no, that was an okay hit.
Oh, that's right. Hulk is hexed.
He is
He,
hexed,
he has
yeah.
spender money available, but he's not going to opt to use it.
Yeah, no, you don't need a spender here. Just slap him again. All right,
Four coming in and a push if he needs it.
okay. I guess Man Thing will just die.
Now Hulk's going to pick that up and probably hold on to that for the rest of the game
I don't know if Hulk picks that up.
because he'll take damage, which could damage Steve. Well, he does pick it
Yeah,
up.
I knew. Okay, he's feeling risky. I love it. Good stuff.
He might be feeling some amount of scenario pressure at this point, just because Nobility's still going to score
He scores one to
one.
Kurtis's five.
Yeah.
Actually, funnily enough, Hulk's not on that,
Yeah, that's what
so
I mean.
it'll
I
be
thought so.
3 to.
It's going to be hard for him to
Damn.
get to 16, but he'll score, yeah, three.
Yep. Yeah, go 3 to 4, which is okay. Not the worst.
This game's still showing how important it is to hold prio in an attrition matchup.
All right, maybe the tracker will actually work this time when they hit cleanup.
Hey, it's showing round three now.
Yeah, they had to manually move it, so.
Let's go. Are the players looking to see where these witnesses are going to go?
Oh, this looks like a siege? Yeah, he just
Oh,
sieged.
he wants to push Thor off the point.
Oh, hell yeah. Get his ass out of there.
There might be a world where he can bump and
No
control
bump.
both.
Bump is very
Oh,
gone.
because he died.
Yep. Okay. Sure, just slap Thor for 5 damage. Why not? And hex
And
him.
Hex. Oh, you know what? That was the other action before with Thor was removing that Hex.
Oh, that makes sense. We're good at this game, guys. All right, just slap him away. Get him out of there. All right, well,
Oh, 10
what if
4.
it's, yeah, 3 to 2? Okay.
Heading into round 4.
Nobil- yeah, Nobility still, if he can get like 2 cubes and get double witnesses, he could just like steal the game out. If things are looking like
Yeah.
a little dire to do that, but
The scary thing is for Nobility is does Red Skull go down here at the start of the round? And then how much of a commitment is it for Kurtis to do that? Because between the grunts and Red Skull hitting the gauntlets, he could eliminate Steve and Okoye's activations this round. It's not the
yep.
most likely, but it's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, I definitely like getting like the free chip damage into mine here. Like doesn't do anything with the stun, but like that's fine.
Yeah.
Looks like Hulk's also gonna take one. Yeah. Oh no, not one on Hulk. Anything but that. All right, Hulk, pop it. Hell yeah, get that damage out there.
So that's an additional one into both Steve, Mummy, and Hulk.
Yep, all 3 of them take one.
Yeah, but that one on a backside Steve feels like three when you're trying to chip him
Exactly.
down.
Yep. Yeah, that's why it's like so nice to get that extra damage on him and just chip, chip, chip.
All right, let's see how Kurtis chooses to open up here. I imagine he's going to go after Red Skull. Is there a different line that you like?
Um, You, I guess, could do continue to do Bob homework. That's not the worst thing ever.
Yeah, it's a little scary that if you don't take out Bob, like there's a line where Nobility steals the game by eliminating Thor and Mummy doing Mummy things to stay on the witnesses and score. Like that could be pretty scary for him.
Yeah, Hulk is always gonna like go after Mummy though, just with like because Curtis now has 4 models, so like Jeremy's 3, so like
Yeah.
Hulk can always go last. There's no way to like kill Hulk here. Like even to like I guess Red Skull could technically do it if he rolled like, 6 crits
All right.
on his first attack
We're seeing
and
a
did like
throw
12 and 12.
from
Yep.
Thor the car into Bob.
Yep. Okay. Bob's a legend. He knows what
Bob
to do.
lives, so now he's got to waste an action on that.
Yep. Big sad.
He's hoping to get within range 2 of Bob and range 2 of Mummy to maybe throw to daze Bob and then attack Mummy. Maybe you get lucky to Mummy, or worst case scenario, you can just throw Mummy off the point, waste some actions.
Yep. Yeah. Force him to like do stuff. Either way.
I think he's going to be within 2 of both, but again, my spatial awareness isn't the best.
Okay. No, he doesn't have enough power. I would say, what if he walked over and area attacked? That's a thing you could try. Yeah, he definitely has like range between like Bob and Mummy to like be able to attack both. You could also go in like such power on like both witnesses too.
He's looking for the maximum greed here to get all the things.
For sure. I think you have like a little like with like the way the game is like happening right now, you definitely have like a little like space to be greedy.
Yeah, Kurtis feels in
Especially,
control, but there's definitely lines where Nobility can steal this.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Bob forcing the hard decisions.
Yep. Good old Bob.
All right, Thor's going to charge.
Yep, he's coming on in.
Notable that Thor is hexed, so there's a world here where maybe there's a whiff.
Yeah, Bob could survive this. Nope, he's going after Mummy. That
Oh,
makes
Mummy
sense.
first. Okay.
Yeah. No crits. Stop it. Nope, he's like bad. Ignore that. Okay,
Yeah, he
there
pulled
he
him away.
goes. Yep.
Uh, Mummy taking 1.
Oh yeah, one after Tough Hide. Perfect.
No throw. This is going to attack Mummy again.
Oh no, Mummy gets staggered off of that. Not a stagger on Mummy.
Another
Okay.
whiff.
Well, that was embarrassing.
That's the Thor that so many of us come to know over the last 4 or 5 years.
Yep.
Thor's sitting on on 1 life means that a Bob Rocket here could do something cool.
Yeah, Bob Rocket could also just kill your own too.
Kill your Mummy? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
Mum.
I
Yeah, I
said
think
something cool.
Mummy.
I didn't say something good or smart. I just said cool.
I mean, sometimes dazing your own models is a nice way to like get priority back for yourself. So
All right, Ability with a tough decision now, whether to go with Bob, Red Skull, or Mummy. Mummy would
I
be
think
nice
you
to do
could
some
go
healing,
with.
but Red Skull, I think you
I
want
think
to.
you go with Mummy and just like pick off Okoye and just pick her up.
That
She's
makes
out of range
sense.
of everyone. Like she's just like free, and you can like get the Soul Train going because you like hit her for like if you like kill her, you get like 2 souls back. You can heal those then. He has to spend his first soul. He's supposed to have a stagger, which I think Kurtis forgot again on Mummy. So he's like forced to like spend that first soul to remove the condition.
Yeah. You know what? It worked out. Nobility earlier forgot to give himself a couple souls, so
Yeah, sure.
it
It
all
all
comes
works
out in a
out.
wash. Yeah.
Yep. Here we go.
All right, looks like we are going to go with Encanto here and take a shot into Thor.
Yeah, that makes sense. He's like out of bodyguard range. He's like pretty easy to pick up. Smoked him.
Yeah, get some soul token back. We
Two of them, in
yeah,
fact.
we drop an extract near the bobbert.
Yep. Yeah, Bob, go get that. Uh, can Bob get KO'd and die from that?
Hmm.
This character does not have an activated token and will be dazed by having damage tokens placed on it. It gains a dazed token instead. When during the cleanup phase do you remove your activated tokens?
Yeah, asking the real questions.
These are important, okay? Because that means Bob should not pick up that Creekor if he values his life.
All right, now we're going to Okoye.
Yep. Yeah, just slap her.
Only 3 coming in, and she's blocking 2 already, and she has a reroll
No,
available to her.
she rolled too good. Yeah, you're having 4. I guess you could. Eh.
There was a world there where she whiffed a little bit more. He could have bats and closed her out, but well,
Right.
skull plus bats is 3 more successes.
Uh,
Okay, not enough though to get
it's
her.
just 2 more. It was yeah, 1 short.
Oh, bats only changes 1 die, right?
Yeah, it's just 1.
I was
Yeah.
thinking of Chi Mastery and
Oh yeah. What a fair and balanced card for
yeah.
a really like underplayed model, right?
I mean, without that, he probably sees no play, right?
Yeah, right. I don't think you should play him without Chi Mastery. All right.
All right, Mummy choosing to use his soul tokens to heal, so he's got 4 health points available to him.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
Presumably, Kurtis is going to activate Steve here as he wants to hold on to the Hulk activation to clear some points.
For sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's Red Skull can only displace size 3 or less, so there's no way to move Hulk this round.
Nope, yeah. He's Hulk lives there now. Yeah, I definitely think you like walk over and like throw shield at Bob.
Yeah, there's
Or go contest
also
the point. Yeah.
there's no pass availability because of the grunts after this, and he will get priority back, but you really need to get some work done before that.
Yep.
All right, Steve, going into Bobbert.
Oh. Yep. Hitting him with that shield. Oh god. Alright, Bob, you can do this. No, Bob.
Man, I was really hoping to see a Bob block.
The Bob block would have been so great.
All right, here comes Red Skull bringing in his grunts.
Yep. Yeah,
If,
you definitely want to try to pick off a Koye.
unfortunately, not in range to do so. And he's not going to be able to walk to the point. So it looks like he's looking to maybe set them up for next round.
I think you just shoot Hulk, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like
Uh,
killing Hulk might be part of an important part of the game. Hulk has enough power to do everything he wants anyway, so like,
yeah, and if anything, like the Creekors maybe help you do some damage. Unfortunately for him, without bump, we're having to waste actions on Red Skull.
I know.
Red Skull's just a guy right now.
Who's this guy having to walk using his own feet?
He's gonna
What the
punch
hell?
Okoye.
Yeah, I think this feels right. Just blow her up. Like that.
Yep.
Just get a casual 6 hits on both triggers. That seems fine. Alright, well, she goes away now. Alright, Jeremy, don't forget your soul. You need that.
He looks like he's gonna want to keep Red Skull safe here, rather than commit him. There's no reason to. I guess you're just asking to get your Red Skull dazed, but you're also staggering yourself.
Yeah.
What's would be really cool is that if Nobility wins this point, both points, He can move both witnesses towards Steve, do at least one chip damage, maybe two. That'd be kind of sick.
No, I'm pretty sure Hulk is going to take this point, like guaranteed.
That's what I
You
mean.
can just
So
spend
so
one.
you get
Yeah.
to move the witnesses.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So next round, maybe Steve starts with 3 damage on him.
You could do that. Yeah. That would be fun.
I guess what you're concerned about right now is that Thor is going to wake up with a full 7 health and no conditions. Steve's difficult to take down, so at this point you're running out of ways to remove activations. Like this was, I guess,
Mhm.
potentially the swing turn ability needed to get some more VPs. It's going to be hard only scoring one this round to outpace Kurtis.
Uh, that's assuming he even gets that because Red Skull's pretty actionable with like just 4 physical and then 3
Yeah.
HP left. So
All right, Hulk spending to throw the mummy.
yeah, it looks that way. Just get him out of there. Make him do stuff.
Okay, still in range to be punched.
Yep. Yeah, I think you just go for it. Fish for the wild.
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, you push him and he's double staggered essentially.
Yep.
All right, here
Oh,
comes
he's
Hulk.
spending them.
Best case scenario, you
Well,
daze him. Oh, not the
that's
best hit.
awkward. All right. Well, I guess all that for a point of damage and not a stagger
No
or a
stagger,
throw.
no throw. Yeah,
Rough. Well, I think it matters more that like Hulk was able to like shed his power to not give like auto damage out, and
yeah.
I think that was like kind of the goal there.
Especially if he's gonna move into bodyguard range of Steve. Like I said, there's a world where you then ping Steve for 3 damage between the Hulk alien ship and the 2 points. But now that world isn't gonna happen.
Yeah, I think you go with Bob first here, and then just like rip off a fat rocket into like one of these models. You get like gun first and then a rocket, right? Yeah.
All right, so big round from Kurtis there, scoring 4, 5, 6 points.
Oh,
Although,
so there's a beautiful thing you could do. If you drop both of those like witnesses on like Steve, you can get like double damage on him, right?
that is
Get
what
him
I was
stunned.
calling out a few times, Johnny.
Yeah.
That's what
No, it's good. Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about.
No, it's perfect. Yeah. Yeah. So if Bob can get 1 damage through on Steve here with
Well, pistol shot, then
gun,
yep.
you have like a well, Steve can always just like bodyguard the rocket back to himself. So you couldn't just shoot it like Hulk or Thor and then like splash the
Mm.
damage. Unfortunately, but that's all right.
Nobility finally getting prio in round 5.
Yay, he did it.
All right, here comes Bob attacking Thor. This makes sense to me.
Yep, shoot him with gun. Okay, well, you got a power. That's nice.
All right, now here comes the rocket.
Who do you shoot it at?
I mean, every model, like Steve doesn't have recal available to him at least.
He doesn't, yeah. He will have 6 defense dice, so you kind of want to shoot it at, like,
Someone
I don't
else and
know.
make him
I don't
bodyguard
hate,
it.
yeah, I would say I don't hate shooting at either of the other 2 guys and forcing the bodyguard out of it.
I mean, there's a world where you can maybe KO Thor this round, so I'd rather see it go to him, but he's choosing to go into Steve, who will spend the 1 power to buff.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, that was a very
Wow, we were waiting
floppy
all,
rocket.
all game for that. Bob really let us
Yep.
down.
Well,
Yeah, you win some,
he
you
gets
lose
2
some.
damage out. Yeah. Perfect.
All right,
That's
just enough
exactly
to
what
get
Thor
Hulk
needed. Just 2
angry
more
to throw.
power.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bob should have taken 2 damage on himself too, for what it's worth. He was also in the splash zone.
Noted.
Yeah,
All right, you're
it's messed
probably
up.
feeling really good right now if you're Kurtis. There's not a lot of ways for Nobility to affect the board.
Yeah, he
Uh,
pretty much like gets like a walk, Swarly strike with Contour to push a guy off potentially. That's assuming he's alive and survives the Thor onslaught here.
yeah, you don't mind if you're Kurtis just being really aggressive, dazing, trying to KO the grunts, get an attack into the mummy, throw the mummy away, and just completely make him useless.
Well, so with here, if you can just kill Mummy with you just win. Because you get like the 6 points from like double witness, double cores.
Yeah.
Red Skull doesn't one-shot Hulk. As much as we would like to, he just physically cannot roll that much damage. So if you can like blow up Mummy with Thor, it's just GG. And with like a charge, you get like a size 4 vendor shop throw and also 2 bites at the apple with like double attack. So you have like good odds to like go for it and get it. So
I do think you want to try to remove the troopers at the same time because if the troopers
troopers don't
can,
matter
well, if they walk, take a shot into
because
Steve, then you're only scoring 5 this round, right?
I guess yeah.
I mean, you probably effectively get the GG from Nobility, but
Yeah.
looks like Kurtis is looking for that line. Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised you don't go after Mummy here. Maybe he's just thinking you just like throw Mummy away and just not care.
Like I said, I
You
think
don't need to kill him.
if you kill the grunts and throw Mummy away, you effectively just win.
Okay, that's very embarrassing. Funny. Yeah, it's not like Thor's scoring, so it doesn't really matter. So he can just spend a second action for a second attack. It's his throw is away, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? I think you just punch the troopers, throw Mummy away. But also, there's a reason why I'm streaming round 5 and not playing in round 5. So,
yeah. No,
take what I say with a
you
grain of
go
salt.
man mode here. You're area attacking.
There you go.
That's what you're doing right now, and you still have throw money. Yeah. Hell yeah, Thor. Get them. Lightning bolt. Do it.
Who this was into? 2 dice, so it must
This
be
is
Mummy
into
first.
Mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's poking
All right. Well,
2 through?
that
Now you just chuck him into the grunts and...
that's assuming the grunts survive the lightning bolt of justice here.
Yeah.
Okay, they die.
And
or maybe they get 2. Oh my god. Grunts! Let's go!
Like I said, now you throw the mummy into the grunts.
Yes, I think that's the correct line here. The grunts can physically not dodge all of that. They just explode. So,
did the mummy not have power for the bats before, or was he just took too much?
I think he just took too much. Yeah.
All right. Now here comes the. Okay. I don't think we're in range for the Hail Mary.
Yeah. Nope. You're not. No, you forgot your grunts, you fool! They could have shot Hulk, and maybe you could have actually put down Hulk then with like double all crit attacks.
Well, sorry to say, Johnny, but you and Kurtis are now tied.
Damn it! We tried.
All right, so
close.
we got the GG concession there from Nobility. We can join them in the chat now.
All right, sounds good.
Kurtis, congratulations on tying Johnny on number of wins. He was very unhappy to see that happen.
Thank you.
The chat.
Suck it, John.
The chat and Johnny were definitely not on your side, but
I feel like I was an impartial party, definitely not rooting for any one player. Certainly that's the case, yep.
Steve was definitely on your side.
I don't believe you, Johnny.
No, you're correct, yeah.
This is the second Avengers game I've played on stream in a row where Steve has just dumped Blade with a massive spike.
That was very beautiful. Goddamn.
Just a casual 8-on-8 or 8-on-4, whatever, 5, 6, whatever it was. It was. I love Scrap. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was like 13 on 14 dice or something like 13 hits out of 14 dice.
That was the MCP's dice turning around after your Hulk got demolished on Wednesday.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, Steve knew this was my Avengers retirement game, and he knew what Johnny did to him last week, and he was really feeling it today.
Yep, that's totally fair.
Are you moving on to a new affiliation?
Yeah, we're gonna go for another badge, I think.
Oh, nice. As you know, I have to
I'll,
know what you're playing so that I can steal your list, pretend that I organically got there after a while on my own. It's like the pattern that
well, I'll
I've
give you a
got.
hint. It's a power leadership, and it's gonna have a koi in it.
All right.
Shocking.
Humans it is.
Yeah. Who would have thought, right? Kurtis playing power leadership with a Koye.
Jeremy, I really liked the lines you were taking earlier in the game. You were
Yeah, me too.
playing the scenario game. You took some interesting lines with Red Skull, sort of kiting Kurtis, trying to race to that 16. Do you think that was a mistake, or was there something else that sort of let Kurtis take the driver's seat later on? Because we really liked the lines you were taking. It made sense.
Yeah. No, I think this is the game plan I needed to go with. Like, this was my squad goals roster as it was for Kurtis as well. So like, I this is the exact reason why I talk about in my post video on squad goals. I talk about like Fisk feeling really bad when you play into certain teams like Avengers. Like it
Yeah.
feels like you can't take Hulk or I Hulk because like if you don't just absolutely murder them with dice, you just get thrown off the points and you can't score because their Hulk just goes last. So yeah, like I knew I didn't want to bring iHulk here. I felt pretty okay. Okoye was ridiculous early on, getting 4 damage on Man Thing.
It was very silly, yeah.
I don't know that I expected Man Thing to like necessarily live through round 1. But I always think he has like a chance when he goes up and grabs something. But I wanted him to have to use Hulk to do it. And Okoye just letting Steve finish him off was really bad. So then from there, I was just kind of improvising, like that whole second round Man Thing activation, which went well for me.
It was beautiful. Yeah, it was a great activation.
Yeah, it was like on the fly. I did not expect to do any of that in round 1. So no, but I mean I think it was fine. I felt mostly okay with just about everything until Cap demolished Blade.
Yeah, I feel like that felt like the big turning point in the game too. Like him just being able to like steal 2 activations, that turn, like flip things to like be in his favor, like Kurtis's favor. Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, I really wanted I mean obviously I wanted Blade to survive, but like the plan was to get a decent siege at the top of the round if Blade didn't die there.
Mm.
Yep, yeah, that seemed like the perfect time to do it. Everyone's like in range to do like a bunch of damage. Just kind of strike and pounce.
I like the
and
the game plan. I guess if you had gone with Immortal Hulk, like you were saying, you just concerned that you're essentially just rolling dice, and that you don't really have the options that you need to score out.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm really just rolling dice. I feel like Kurtis doesn't have to
Yeah.
because, like, he can make it so my iHulk can't really touch him in round 1, and then, like I said, he just comes and throws iHulk off of whatever point I go on to. So even in round 2, then I'm like blowing everything, like 1 below all and bump just to get back and hopefully get 2 attacks. And if those 2 attacks don't go well, then I just lose.
I like the 5.5 wide that you had there. Kurtis, did you ever feel any kind of pressure where you had to use actions to remove Bob and the grunts every round in order to make sure he didn't score out too quickly? Did you feel like any pressure from that, or were you feeling pretty good that as long as your attrition kept up, you were going to be all right?
No, I felt like I had to deal with Bob with Prio for the most part, and usually the grunts I felt like if I didn't have a lot, like there were some activations into the grunts, I just didn't feel like I had anything better to do because I was holding Hulk for a later activation or something, and just letting like a Thor build power off the grunts, or at the end like trying to build the power to either kill him and spender and throw or that kind of thing into Mummy. Like they were convenient like that, but if you let them all stick around, the grunts can get annoying pretty quick when they count as healthy later in a game. So I was trying to
definitely have been
like force them away.
I was surprised to see that you brought the double bodyguard because one of the pieces of advice that you gave me was that whenever you're 4 wide, it's usually a bad idea to bring a Koye. So then I was surprised to see you not do the Shang Gorgon thing here at 17, and instead
I was
opting
too,
for two
for what it's worth.
bodyguards.
Yeah.
So there were two things on that. I felt like Jeremy is someone who will play this kind of 5 wide team. So I was trying to hedge a little bit into like what would be good in both scenarios, and I felt like if he had Blade, Man Thing, Mummy, and Eye Hulk, like Shang, he's not going to be stunning a lot of people, and I'm going to be attacking into a lot of good mystic and physical combos. And even I felt like staggers on Eye Hulk might be good, but if he ran this wider team, like I'm staggering. He's got 3 models here that can kind of get rid of stagger
Yeah.
with Gorgon. And so I don't know. I kind of felt like overall bringing Thor would be good here. I thought he would be better than Shang, and like give me another safe grab on alien ship, but still have someone to go last if I had to throw a Hulk off a point. So I don't, and I guess it just felt like it would be better, and that Shang wouldn't really have a lot of people he loved attacking into, and the push is nice and stuff. But if I couldn't push Eye Hulk and he can bump back into place a lot of the time, yeah, I just didn't feel like he'd be as good.
That's totally fair. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So,
Well, I don't have any other questions unless Johnny, you have anything you want to close out with.
no, you guys both played hell of a game. It was fun and entertaining as always. So, yeah. Oh, also, next Lunchmeat's going up pretty quick here. I've been slacking, but that should be dropping very shortly and soon. So, hooray!
And if anyone's watching this and you're interested in getting on stream and you're concerned, we're definitely trying to be super positive here. So if you get on stream, we're not gonna talk a bunch of crap. We want to get some new people on because we've got a lot of Kurtis on my channel, and those videos do really well. But I'd like to see some Spider Foes, some Brotherhood, some other things come on. So if you play any games after 8:30 Eastern time, let me know, and we'll see what we can do to get you on stream.
That goes for me as well. I'm streaming every now and then as well. So
That doesn't go for me, but if you want some cool Hydra games coming up, you can
you gave it away.
maybe watch some of mine.
Oh no, the power leadership's been revealed.
Wow,
Spoiler alert.
you've gone down that route before.
I know. I'm just saying it publicly so I don't change my mind.
Fair enough.
It's an accountability thing.
He will waffle for the next week and a half before the next one starts. So,
No, not anymore. It's been put out into the world. We're running Hydra in the next Lunchmeat Championship. You heard it here.
All right.
Let's see how it goes.
All right.
We'll see if he makes it to that. Yeah.
Have a good night, everyone.